This is Irontrader, and it is Sunday night. So I'm going to take a look here at Bitcoin, at gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas, and we'll take a look here at NASDAQ futures NQ, which is down about 350 right now. Okay, this video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy or sell any stock market ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Alrighty, here we have Bitcoin. Now I can see here how we had this bear, actually a bull flag situation like we had here. See this? We had this pole, we had a bull flag. We had a nice bull flag here, and then it broke around out here. We had a bull flag, but look at here. Okay, so now that bull flag, that is negated. Okay, so what we're looking for on the downside here, looking at 66,620 level. So if we come right to the bottom here, you're looking at 66,385, and right here is going to be a 65 flat. Now the key level is going to be right here is going to be 63,940 because that was a double bottom with 63,940. See how nice that is. And then your next level there is going to be 62,590. And then we come down here at 62,480 and then 60,005. That's going to be very, very key. Now, if we lose that bad boy, then we'll come right here to that 200-day at 59,044. That's going to be very, very critical on a closing basis by Friday. If we lose it, here's your target, okay, at 57,550 level. We'll come right down there at 56,295, and then we'll venture here 54,545. We'll come to the bottom of that candle right there, sitting at 52,820, and this is going to be your big retest all the way down here at 49,365. Now, this is very important because see how we had that run up, okay? Made that high, came down, consolidated, and broke through that situation. And then we consolidated sideways, and when it sold right on off, what do? We held that level right there. That's why this is going to be very, very key. So just watch that level. Very key at 49,365. Now, if we start losing that, well, then we come right here to the top of this candle. You're looking at 45,260 level. We'll come down here to the bottom. You're looking at, we're looking at that 42,340. And then we come all the way down here at that 38,540. And we can come all the way down to this here, all the way down to 32,600. Easy, easy, easy. Now, upside, always been pointing out on weekly how strong that 8-day is. Okay, the 21-day crossed over, 8-day crossed over. And look where we went last week. Where'd it go? Right into that 8-day, and now we have sideways situation. So here we want to do on the upside here is say this gets rolling again, 68,097. There's your 21-day, and then we have your 8-day right above it at 68,820. Now, we had a really nice good crossover on the 8-day crossover. That was bullish, but now you can see it's winding right back down again. Just very, very similar to what we had here and very similar to what we had here, where you look like it'd be a bullish crush and take it right on up here. That's why you have to trade the charts. So this is what we're looking for on the upside, 68,088. And then we'll be looking for here, 68,809. Now, we get above that, then we can come over here to the top of this candle. We're looking at, what we're looking at there, 445. And then we have here 71,645. We come up here at 73,825, and then we look for this retest at 64,365 level. Okay, we get above that. This is what we're looking for right there at 77,110. We'll look for that 50-day at 79,631. Now, we get above that right here. Here's your gap, 79,660. And we have that fill at 81,210 level. Okay, but realistically, now your price is below all your simple moving averages. Look at there, 21-day, 8-day, 50-day, 100-day, even a 200 days rolling over, looking very, very bearish. Now, easy way to trade this and make money on the downside is BITI for the downside, BITX for on the long side. Okay, very, very simple. But just watch this area right here. It can be very key. That's at 63,940 and at 62,590. We lose it, yeah, we can come there, but realistically, you're going to test that 60,005. Now, by Friday, we got to hold that 200-day. If you don't, it's going to be man out the window time. It's going to be jump right into that BITI, and we'll take a short ski all the way on down there, okay? Now, we got to an oversold condition here, kind of pop up, still sitting right there. And, of course, that could ride it for a long time. Same way with here. What we got here at 49.98, that's not oversold yet. That could come way on down. Your green is over your red, but you can see how it's curling. But again, the market's been open 6 minutes here, so don't have any opinion. Just watch that key level, that 21-day and that 8-day. We've got to get above that. Then we can maybe retest that 74,365 level, and then your big target here is 79,635. Okay, downside, very, very key. Watch these key levels here, and at 6,005, very, very critical, and at 59,043. Alrighty, let's take a look here what's going on with gold and silver. Alrighty, here we have gold, here we have silver. Okay, now this is what we got going here. We got a pinball action here. See that 21-day on the bottom, 51.13, and then we have that 8-day on top, 51.88. You can see how we're just trading sideways into it. Now, this is what they call a bear flag situation, but let's just see if it plays out. Now, if we can get back above that 8-day, that would negate that bear flag situation above that 51.86 level, and then we'd be looking right there at that 52.18, and we come up here, we'll be looking at 52.69, 52.99, 53.94, and then 54.34. That's your big retest. We cracked that right here, 54.52, right there, 54.80, and then there's your retest, 56.26. We cracked that, it's 5,700, and then we can go all the way to that 6,000 mark. But right now, you got to be a little careful because it got a bear flag situation, and we're trading in between that range. Now, downside, you want to watch that 51.12. We lose that, we'll come right down to the bottom here. You're looking at 50.58 level. We'll come down to the bottom there at 5,005, and then we can venture all the way down here to your 48.68. But this is what we're really looking for, is that 48.84 level. Okay, we start losing that right there, 47.79. We come down to the retest here at 46.70 level, and then we can come all the way down to the 100-day at 45.31, and then we have a retest down here at 44.23. But right now here, this is what you're trading. You're trading that 21 SMA here, right there at that 51.12, and we're trading that 8-day. Okay, so we cracked that 8-day. Here's your target, is going to be 54.34. We cracked that 21-day on downside. Look for that 50-day right at 48.84. Okay, 53, not overbought, oversold. The green is like a sideways action, but that's pretty much what you have. But just be a little careful here because it got a bear flag situation. Now, silver. Silver's been one of my favorite trades so far in the SLV. Okay, I just scalped this on the long side. I don't trade the short on gold or silver, just the old, the long side. Okay, so this is what we're watching. Pretty much the same thing. Okay, 83.10. That's going to be a key level on the downside. Okay, so if we lose that, well, then we come right down to the bottom there. We're looking at 80.56. Okay, then we'll come down to the bottom there. You're looking at 78.06, and we can venture down here at 76.30, and we come down here to your 71.81, and then we have your 100-day at 69.90. Okay, then we have the retest down here at 63.90. Okay, very, very simple. Now, upside, a lot of resistance here. We got that 50-day at 85.40. That's going to be key, and we have that 8-day sitting right above at 86.11. Now, get above that, then here's your target right there. Okay, 87.07. We venture up here. Okay, you got a 99. We come up there at 91.98 level. We venture up here, 94.76. But your big target's going to be right there at 97.30. Okay, so here's the thing: how easy to just remember this. Okay, if we lose that 21-day, your big target is going to be that 100-day. Okay, if we can crack above that 50-day and that 8-day, your big target's going to be 97.30. Okay, so all I'm doing is trading this range. But however, just remember, we got a bear flag situation going here, the same as we have on gold. So be very, very, a little bit careful. 48, that's not a bar oversold. And look at this here. We got sideways action here. Okay, so just trade this range until we either break up and go up, or we break it and go down. Now, if you're just a long trader like I am, I'm just being very, very patient. I'm just scalping the SLV. Now, if we start losing all these levels here, then I'll be very patient, and I'll be looking for all your support levels all the way here until we get to the 100-day, and then I'll see what the reaction is. If it holds, that could be a good buying opportunity to take it right back up again. Okay, now, if we crack, say, above that 50-day and that 8-day, okay, we buy on strength. We buy up there if it closes above that, and we hit that, and then we hit that 97.30, just like that. Okay, let's take a look at here at the crude oil. Okay, if you're watching my videos, you know that I'm long the UCO. Okay, reason being, well, she's going higher. Okay, that's pretty much the reason being. Okay, now here's your daily chart there, and you can see how we're just ripping right on up here very, very nicely. Now, upside targets. Okay, so Friday, what do we hit? You hit 92.61. Now we just sort of gap. So far, what do we hit up here? 111.24. Okay, so all you got to do is look to the left of the chart here. Okay, right here. What do you see? 111.45. Okay, so far you came in what? Within 21 cents. See how easy that is? Okay, next level we do, we bring this price channel right across. Okay, right there, what do you got? 114. Okay, then we come right up here. What do you got? You got 115 level. We come up here, 122 level, and then we'd be looking for 123.68, and then we have 130.50. Okay, just that simple. We got a big war situation going on here. Okay, this is not going to be solved overnight. Keyman came out and he said that he would insure these tankers in the Gulf. They're really not interested because, hey, it's not just a tanker. We have human beings on board of these tankers. You got 1,100 ships sitting there, okay, for about a week now. That's not good, okay? That's not good at all. All the ports are waiting for crude oil, okay, LNG, and fertilizer, all this stuff is not just oil and it's not just natural gas. Everything is going to have massive inflation coming back into this market with this war. Just remember that. How much stuff goes through that Straits of Hormuz? 20% of all the world's oil is through the Straits. Okay, 30% of all goods, services, LNG, fertilizers, everything else goes through that Straits of Hormuz. Okay, now here's the key. Saudi Arabia has an east-west line, okay, which you run it out to the Red Sea. If that gets hit, boom, this is going to look like 130 is going to look like nothing. You'll be at 200, okay? So just remember that. Now, just all saying this, okay, you're going to have a nice, good rally up here, and probably here about probably middle of the month, maybe longer, see how this drags out. But it's going to be an excellent shorting opportunity at some time. Not now, okay? Do not buy a short. Do not take a position in the short. This has to shake out. Now, I ran higher. I got a new leader in here. All it is, the guy they blow up, it's his kid. So there's not going to be anything different, okay? So T-Man's asking for an unconditional surrender. Never going to get it, okay? Just like he called for, he wants to choose who's going to be their leader. Never going to happen, okay? Iran is not going to do this. What they're doing is they're firing off these missiles. They're firing off them drones. And they could hit anything at any time. They don't really care. That's the key, okay? They're just sending everything right on out there, okay? So again, just be very, very careful here with the crude oil. This is going to go higher. They got to have to solve this problem somehow, okay, to get that Straits of Hormuz open, okay? How you're going to do it is beyond me. You really opened a huge can of worms here by doing what you did here. That's all I can say. Now, that being said here, eventually this will solve down just like we had here up to 130, and then we cut all the way back down here. It's going to be patient, but again, eventually there'll be a shorting opportunity, just not now, okay? This is going to rally, and it's going to rally up very, very hard, okay? So I am long, okay, and at any pullback, I'm going to be staying long here until there's some kind of a resolution, some kind of a something, okay? So on the downside here, well, bottom line here, we're watching, Friday's high at 92. Then we're watching that 75, 76 level. Right now, she's just going higher. I'm looking for this target right here, 123, and I'm looking at 130. Gas prices over where I am are absolutely soaring. A week ago today, I bought gas for $2.43, and today it is $3.16 at Sam's. Everybody else in town is $3.69. So you already went up over $1 in 1 week at most stations, and Sam's will probably do that this week. They've been adding, and usually Sam's is just steady Eddie. And now what they're doing is every day they're changing the price and it's going to go higher, okay? And that's a killer, absolute killer for the people. Huge inflation. This war here could throw us right into a freaking recession with no problem. So just always remember that, okay? Now, as a trader, you got to figure out, okay, how do I make money off of this, okay? Short skis, okay? You can do the short. If you're just a long trader, just sit on your hands, be patient, okay? That's what you got to do. Okay, let's take a look here now at natural gas. All right, natural gas is moving. Now, just remember, when you have a war situation, even though you're in the shoulder season in the U.S. with natural gas, that don't mean dick. Okay, right now, the LNG, okay, that's going through that Straits of Hormuz, that's huge. Okay, natural gas is going to rise up with oil. It's energy. All energy, everything is going to move up and move up higher. Okay, so we're holding right here this 8-day. Now we popped up. This was a good trade in UNG. Now what I'm looking for here, if we take this down here a little bit here, sorry about that, we're going to be looking right here for this 200 SMA here. That's going to be a big target at 356. Okay, so far we hit a high there of 337. All you have to do is look right to the bottom there. What's your next target? Is 338. That's what stopped it. That's the gap fill. We fill that gap right there. Next is going to be right there at 356. We get right above that. What do we have? You got 358, and then we have your 100 days sitting right here at 387. Okay, so we get above that 100 SMA here. Well, we just take it right on up here. What do you got? You got 399. Okay, we come up here. What do you got? You got 417. What you're looking for is going to be right here again, the retest of that 442. All you do is just start right there and see what you got. That is going to be your resistance levels, 442, if we start cracking up higher, okay? And then you could venture this. Oh, man, we could venture it all the way up here. You got a 4.59 level. We come up here. You got 487. We come up here at 549, and you can retest that 7 very, very easily here on this war situation, okay? Now, downside, just watch that 21-day. 3.06 and watch that 8-day at 302. Now, the 8-day looks like it wants to curl over. That's going to provide very, very good support here on the natural gas. So 21-day, 8-day, very key. We lose it, you come down to that 277 level. We lose that, this is your target at 262. Okay, but right now, this is moving higher. So what I'm going to be doing here at 8 o'clock when the futures open, I'll probably take a jump into that UNG and take it up here because it's going to go right here to this 200-day at 356 and possibly that 50-day at that 358. Okay, and then I say we crack that, boom, right there is 387. Okay, so now the futures are really good. On Sunday night, they open up here at 8 o'clock. So you can jump in all these ETFs. Okay, if you want to trade UNG for the long, KLD for the short. You want to go UCO, you got to SCO. You can trade Netflix, Pella, anything you want, starting right here to the 8 o'clock all the way to Friday night at 8 o'clock, 24/7. Okay, freaking awesome. So when you have a war situation like this, always just look for opportunity. Okay, let's take a look here now at the NASDAQ futures NQ. All right, here we have the NASDAQ futures. Now, what I've been pointing out here is this key 200 SMA here. See that? 24,338. Okay, you're sitting right now at 24,273, so actually below that. Now your key retest is right there at 24,239. Okay, that is going to be your big retest. So you got a little ways to go. Okay, now we start losing that area, then this is going to be your next target on the old NASDAQ futures is 23,904. Okay, we lose that kind of situation here. Then we can do is we can come all the way down here, down to this candle right there. You're looking at 23,505. We can come venture all the way down here to this candle here at 23,025. And we could come all the way down here at that 22,775. Now, I've been calling for a freaking correction here for the last couple weeks. I said it's going to be coming here. You're going to get 5-10% correction. And all you need is one little catalyst like this war to set this thing off. Okay, that's the key. Okay, so what we're looking for here is you have to hold that 200-day, and you got to hold this price channel at 24,239. If not, we just follow it all the way on down. Okay. And these are going to be your downside targets. And then we just bring this right across all the way through. See how easy it is? All these blue lines are just price channels. And that is going to be your downside targets until you get a retest all the way down to 16,460. Now, that's not where I'm saying it's going to go, but it's very, very possible it could go there. Because when you have huge oil prices here and you got $1 raise in just 1 week, California is like in the, what, $7 or something like this? I mean, this is a real crunch on your everyday person with these fuel prices. Okay, so just remember that. Very, very crucial. When I was over to Sam's last week, I was trying to tell everybody around there, load up as much as you can because you got war coming here, and the prices are going to go much, much higher. Now, also down the road here is all your food prices, because all the fertilizers, everything it takes to do that is going to go much, much higher. I think you have to realize exactly the importance of what these other countries are actually doing. Okay, so just remember, massive inflation could be coming into this market here unless we get this problem with this war here solved like ASAP. Okay, now Iran is not going to just bend over and say, okay, we're going to do whatever you say. Does not work like that. Okay, they are not that kind of people. They're going to keep fighting until there is no bombs, no missiles, nothing absolutely left. Okay, but as a trader, let's see how we make some money off of this situation. That's what we do. Okay, I know it doesn't sound good, doesn't it? But that's what we do. All right, I'll be back tomorrow morning and we'll do it all over again. Remember, trade what's in front of you, not what you want.